A 10,000 Pascal budget vacuum can rival pricier models on pet hair, but reviewers can't even agree on which model actually finishes on top overall. Every product mentioned is linked in the description below. Tap in for today's price and any active discount.
Just going to tell you which one it is right now. It's this one, the Roborock Q Revo Pro. It's reasonably priced, and if your space is suitable for a robot vacuum and you lower those expectations, it does a good job. I'd say it takes around twice as long and does 70% of the job that a human cleaner would do. These robots, they just aren't great at seeing a tough spot and doing a deeper clean on it, nor can they pick up a piece of furniture and clean around it. But no best robot vacuum and mop. At best, there is the best prototype robot vacuum and mop. My house is about as simple as you're going to get. There are no steps, I don't have kids, I don't have pets, I don't have shag pile rugs, and I live minimally with very little on the floor. At best, after playing with the settings, the Roborock did a job 70% of what a human would do. It also gets the...
So how much of that gap comes down to price? Entry-level suction says the answer isn't simple.
Also usually have a small base which the robot uses to automatically keep itself charged. Okay, so what are the downsides to vacuums in tier 1? Well, they usually only have enough suction for low pile carpet, so they might struggle with vacuuming taller carpet or sucking up debris from small crevices. And considering they don't have advanced mapping capabilities, some of them bounce around the room randomly and some of them can clean in neat rows. Now this might sound terrible, but most of
Entry-tier suction genuinely struggles on thick carpet and in corners, yet 2 budget picks below manage pet hair better than that limit suggests.
Table legs, chair legs, and it'll get up really close to them, and this is a feature that you typically only find in much more expensive robots.
When we dried some soy sauce and sent the N30 in to clean it, it cleaned up the mess with almost zero residue left behind at all. It also auto washes the mop pads and dries them with hot air.
It has 10,000 pascals of suction, and it picks up really well on hardwood, and it also has good performance on carpets.
That's right, and here's what makes it special. It's got 10,000 pascals of suction. That's double what you'd get from most budget robots. So it actually has a really good anti-tangle system with a main brush and a side brush, so it can handle pet hair really well.
But you know what? It's the mopping where it gets...
Reviewers keep coming back to brush design once tangling gets serious, even after budget models proved themselves. That's the real split between tiers.
On to tier 2, or our better tier, and this consists of robot vacuums that range from around $300 to $700. These vacuums can do everything that the ones in the first tier can do, but they improve on pretty much everything. They'll usually have better suction so they can work better on taller carpet. They might have a better brush system that prevents tangles from long.
Makes it super low maintenance. Now the robot on screen is a slightly older version, but the Max Plus has dual rubber brush rolls, so hair pickup is really good, and it also means it's really anti-tangle. It picks up hair from hard surfaces and carpets very effectively. And it has 5,500 pascals of suction. Now that is nowhere near as high as the flagship robots, but wait till we tell you about how inexpensive this is. I think this is a really good robot if you got a lot of hard surface.
It has more features. Starting off with the pros. The Dreamy L50 Ultra was great at its main job of vacuuming. It uses Dreamy's new dual brush roll combined with a single side brush to sweep hard floors and carpets, and it was remarkably efficient at picking up debris from both.
Just Josh already staked a claim on the budget tier. The flagship tier is about to make its own case, and it points to a different name entirely.
Where we measure how much sand it can pull from medium pile carpets, it got a 90%, which is a top 5 score of all time out of over 150 robots we've tested, where the average is about 77%. Similarly, it was good with our 2.5-inch flattened pet hair pickup test on carpets, which has been a challenge for some robots, but the L50 Ultra got a rare perfect score here, 100% of the hair picked up, where the average most Roborocks, it was extremely good at its main job of sweeping up debris from the surfaces of hard floors and carpets. It uses the relatively new Duo Divide main brush, which is essentially 2 brush rolls with a gap in the middle for hair to channel through to prevent tangling. And in our 7-inch hair test, the 10R did perfectly by resisting 100% of the hair, which is better than average. It also has a newly designed hair-resistant side brush.
but still get flagship features.
The Ecovacs Deebot X11 OmniCyclone came in second place in our top robot vacuums of 2025. And you know what? Comes with a cat. It's got 19,500 pascals of suction with their new blast system. And actually, it's really good with pet hair on carpets, one of the best. And the mop roller system is super effective as well. And obstacle avoidance is also really good. Now it is highly recommended, but
high-end suction and mopping solve part of the mess, but pet owners face a different hazard: waste on the floor, not just hair.
different names because it's very confusing. But if you got a messy home, you got pets, you got stuff on the floor all the time, if you're basically just a slob like us, this is the robot for you because the obstacle avoidance is one of the best I've tested of any robot at any price in 2024. And that is amazing for a robot that is a really good deal right now.
Oh, so you mean
features, you'll also find really advanced navigation and obstacle avoidance with improved sensors. So instead of constantly bumping into objects, the robot can easily navigate around people, pets, furniture, and even recognize common objects like shoes, wires, or even pet waste. Now, I would still recommend clearing your floor every night to avoid the vacuum getting stuck, but with these advancements in technology, you really don't have to. So considering the capability of avoiding pet waste, if you do have a pet that has the potential.
Obstacle avoidance closes one gap, but no tier here is flawless. Battery life and bin size still trip up even the top scorers.
Stuff though, so let's move on to the cons. The main thing I noticed was it's not great battery life. It has an extremely large 6400 milliamp hour battery, and its official battery life on low power is above average, but in our battery life tests, which we run on lots of different power settings, including the settings that users are most likely to use, and calculate the averages, the L50 Ultra was not very efficient. Its battery efficiency number was well below average, and even when accounting for its really smart and efficient bit in terms of efficiency for the slim design. Another thing is that its internal dust bin is much smaller than average at 270 milliliters. This can be mitigated by programming it to return to its base more often during its run, especially if you have a house that has a lot of large dogs and thus a lot of pet hair. But other than those two things, it was kind of hard to find something to pick on. And when you add up all the scores, the Roborock Saros 10R.
Reviewers agree that even top-rated robot vacuums stop short of a true human clean, and that pet owners benefit more from smart brush design and obstacle avoidance than raw suction. But they don't agree on the top model itself. Just Josh's early pick, the Roborock Q10 Pro, isn't the same model Vacuum Wars ranked number 1 overall, the Saros 10R. Which single model ranks best overall is still debated. Bottom line, for pet hair, most independently tested robot vacuums help, but don't replace regular manual cleaning entirely. Every clip links to the full video in the description. Go watch the originals. This is educational content, not professional advice.